Good afternoon, everyone. We are back with the Wrestling Republic Daily Podcast. This is September 3rd, and this is Tuesday, so you know what that means. Monday Night Raw review. We got the we got the crew back in the house today. Y'all got me back. I was off last week. Salute to the bro Clark. He let me have an off day, even though him and Ben deserve more off days on the hosting gig. But salute to him and salute to y'all for tuning in, man. We had a jam-packed episode of Monday Night Raw. We just finished a crazy weekend of WWE PLEs, Bash at Berlin, and now we're on the road to Bad Blood in the A-Town. And I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm excited to talk about with my bros today. If you are not aware, the intro beat was created by this man, and I believe he was also at Berlin this past weekend. Chaos. I gotta do it like this all now too. How you doing, bro?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Yeah, the Tuesday crew is back in full effect. As Shad said, I'm just fresh from Berlin after being there for both SmackDown and Bash in Berlin. Awesome time, awesome time. I even got myself a little trinket here, so you can see the Bash in Berlin mini title. Got one right there. Look at that baby right there with the World Heavyweight Championship right there. It's fucking beautiful right there. So that's gonna be added to my collection. But also a brief announcement as well. Shortly after this episode of the Daily, the vlog. I actually made a vlog for my trip in Bash in Berlin. Will be up around probably an hour and a half after the Daily show. So wherever that is in your respective time zones, it's going to be live up there. And you'll be able to see my trip. We did some sightseeing, got to see SmackDown, got to see Bash in Berlin, and a little bonus clip as well at the end as well. What happened post event as well. So yeah, a lot of tech. Just it's a brief vlog, about 20 minutes. So yeah, if you got spare time, make sure you go and check that out on the Wrestling Republic YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. But we're past that now. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, which was a very solid episode. And yeah, can't wait to get into it with y'all.
I like it. I like it. And yeah, if y'all don't leave the YouTube page, wait for the notification because I'm definitely going to tune into that. I'm excited to see what you got to experience out there because it looked like a lot of fun watching it as a fan on the Peacock. Uh, Last but not least, we got my dog Jordy in the building. I don't got nothing mean to say to you, buddy. I'm just gonna be polite as it is. But how you doing, bro?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm glad you're being polite because I was very polite both times when you guys weren't here. And I think I might have even said I missed you, but that was a lie.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Get over it. I said it.
You said that was a lie?
It was true. All right. It's good to be back, lads. It's good to be back. I enjoyed Clark being around as well. Clark's my guy. If we could go back to a four-man show, I would definitely have Clark in, but it's good to be back with the two of you. It feels familiar. And, of course, the Terror Twins won, so that's delightful, despite me.
All right. Well, on that note, let's talk about the show. Because we don't need to hear you bragging about what we got to talk about at the main event.
That was
one
brilliant.
man should have all that power in the words of Kanye West.
That was brilliant. I actually said, what I said was that me and you predicted it the opposite way, that I actually backed Liv and Dom and you backed the Terror Twins, but there you go.
I know, man. I almost got every match right, except for the women's tag match, which we are going to talk about on the show because a rematch is definitely on the horizon. But let's get to the first topic because, as you can see, the title of the day is there is still bad blood between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And I think I saw literal blood from Mr. CM Punk yesterday. Drew McIntyre coming out full effect with vengeance, upset about the result that happened out there at Bash at Berlin, losing the strap match to CM Punk. CM Punk cutting a promo, noting that he has bigger fish to fry in his mind. He wants to go for the title, but Drew letting him know like this is not done. And Drew, you know, as Jordy predicted, I got to give him his credit, completely destroyed this beautiful bracelet that somebody made in summer camp for CM Punk, and completely destroyed, putting the beads down his mouth. Um, I've been on the record saying that to the build with Bash, I was a little lukewarm about it because I think a lot of it was a little formulaic. I wasn't super excited about the strap match, and I thought a lot of it was geared towards the bracelet. The bracelet's out the way now, and it seems like it's a lot more personal. And what Drew has been the star of the feud at times, like the initial time when he beat CM Punk down to the build prior, and to this one too, just leaving him a bloody mess, as y'all Brits like to call a bloody mess. And I loved it, man. I thought it was the highlight of the show, in my opinion. I love just this type of nth degree when we get to it. Uh, I'm gonna kick it off to you first, Chaos. What are your thoughts in regards to everything that happened last night between Drew and CM Punk?
I loved it. I mean, I knew that it was too good to be true. When Punk said he was good, he wants to move down the business. He wanted, and he kind of stole a Jay Z line. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Like, and he just wants to go for the title and whatnot. But yeah, I knew that this is gonna ultimately culminate at Bad Blood, and there's because it's 1-1 right now, pretty much. And yeah, I'm here for it. And what a way to actually make this even more personal. Not only did you rip up the beads, or the bracelet, you shoved it in his mouth and gave him a claymore kick on top of it, and then also further assaulted him, tried to gouge his eyes out. Funny enough, like before this, literally about the night before, I've been watching the Punisher, that was on Netflix, but now on Disney Plus. And I don't know if you guys seen it, but in the second to last episode of the last of the first season, the Punisher does a very similar thing. Obviously, it was more gorier and all that stuff, and I was just like, that always stuck in my head. And the fact that McIntyre actually tried to do the same thing to Punk was just like, oh wow, I definitely probably watched the same episode that I did. But yeah, I'm glad that it's happening. I think 100% that their match is going to be at Hell in a Cell. I think out of all the feuds that are going on right now, that match warrants it. And obviously, they brought back this pay per view for a reason. I'm here for it. I think ultimately Punk is going to be the one that will walk away from this as the ultimate, the overall winner. And then obviously probably I think I will pencil him against Gunther for Survivor Series. That's who I think that I think that's why I think they're going to go down. And definitely, I mean, Gunther on CM Punk on Gunther's list will be a nice little niche or notch on his whatever that term is on his helmet. I don't know why I'm going on, but yeah, either way, loved it. Beautiful build up. I agree with you, Shad, about the build up to it was a bit to their strap match was a bit formulaic. I really wish they did a dog collar match. I don't know what it is with WWE and against dog collar matches. I know they did one in NXT UK in front of 0 people, and I don't count that. I feel like that match should have been more a dog collar match than a strap match, but it was still fun when watching it in Berlin. But yeah, Hell in a Cell, be all end all. After CM Punk wins, Drew needs to go away for a while, and then CM Punk keeps on keeps on his path to go to eventually hopefully get some gold around his waist. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think all three of us actually are like some of the rare people maybe on our team that are big CM Punk guys. I
Mm-hmm.
I've always rocked with Phil. I mean I don't care about the politics stuff aside, the performer and even the man outside pro wrestling in ways too. I get him, and I think he's great, and I think he's great for business. And I think him and Drew have really created a great storyline. And but I do agree with you. I think once this is done, I think we can give Drew a little bit of a break, make us kind of re-miss him again. But he's
He's had a hot he's had a hot 9 months. Like he since
Mhm.
Rumble, he's been consistent. So yeah, he's done well. So yeah, he deserves a break out of anyone, pretty much. Definitely.
nah for sure. I mean, especially this, re uh invention of his character, right? Going heel. And man, I even say this, like I think Kobe said it yesterday when we was talking. He was like, if it really, I think a key word was like, this is end to end until one of us is either like on a different brand or just completely retired. It'd be cool to see Drew hop on the SmackDown and be a
Mhm.
potential, like, maybe not right out the gate. Obviously, Cody's a little busy, but I think Cody could really benefit having Cody could benefit one of these storylines that's going on in Raw right now. Like, he doesn't have a blood feud just yet, and I think Drew has shown that he can really create that. But that's neither here or there. We'll wait and see. I'm gonna open the floor to you, Jordy. What are your thoughts in regards to everything CM Punk and Drew McIntyre?
I'm a fan of it. Like I said, I was waiting for the bracelet to snap. I'm glad it finally has, and I think it does just ignite this feud back to where it should be. I'm very much in agreement with you guys that it was a bit formulaic leading up to the strap match. The strap match, I will say, was I'll even say it was better than what I thought it was going to be. Not that I had doubts about Punk and Drew's ability to put on a good match, and there was little moments like the strap kept falling off, but all in all, I enjoyed the match, and I wasn't sure whether I was massively going to. So I did, and they did a good job there. I'm happy that we're getting the kind of rubber match with them having one each. I think it does need to be there. I think it does need to be a Hell in a Cell. Well, not need to be a Hell in a Cell, but I think it would be great if it was. And very much like you guys, yeah, Drew. That was the question for me, where Drew goes after this. I think Punk and Gunther at Survivor Series is a great shout. I wouldn't actually be mad about the fact. I'd like to see Seth come back at that point and cost Punk the title because it'd be a year since Punk returned at Survivor Series and Seth was in the ring, like absolutely livid about what happened. I would love for Punk versus Gunther, Seth to do something and cost Punk the match, and then Seth to be stood at the top of the ramp and have Punk going crazy in the ring trying to get at him and flip that, because I don't think we've seen the end of that yet. And in terms of Drew being on SmackDown, I agree. I think it would be great, but I still think that the big money match in this feud is a triple threat between Seth, Punk, and Drew. I think you can have great matches individually, one on ones, but I think maybe at Mania is the if they can stretch it that long and maybe you give Drew a break and that's how you do it, bring him back at the Rumble or something like that. But I would like to see all three of those guys tangle up in a match rather than Seth kind of be there as a ref, because when I got the taste of them three in the ring together, I just get a feeling that they could put something brilliant on. And we've seen a few good triple threat matches at Manias in recent years, so I'd be all for that.
Nah, I like that standpoint. I mean, Seth is definitely in the equation somehow whenever he does return. Obviously, I do believe he is banged up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That man, like, he was working a lot, so he definitely deserves the rest. But Punk and Gunther was obviously teased yesterday, and I got excited when I heard him name drop Gunther and going for his title, because I think Punk is like the perfect opponent for Gunther in regards to building a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
We I think Gunther as a character is phenomenal. I think as an in-ring wrestler, he's one of the best, if not the best in the world. Now it's time to get him to that next level, right? Like, can can he be a dominant presence like what Roman does, and or even like what Cody is, where the storytelling, the storylines, and everything like that is mapped into it. I know he's had that prior within NXT UK, NXT, but it hasn't been on the big stage. And I don't think he's had a storyline or a person that can paint a storyline to the big stage just yet. And I think Punk is something that can get him to the next level where I think he probably beat Punk, right? But Punk is gonna, that Punk's one of the best. He's, if not the best on the mic of all time. He's gonna add some different, and he's gonna know how to work with a character like Gunther. So, I'm hoping we do see that. I know a lot of people are gonna be a little like, I don't want Punk to be near the title. You utilize your names for the best reason. This is why WWE handles what they gotta do. You
Mm.
guys want to say on that, Chaos?
No, I thoroughly agree. I don't see why the hate is against Punk. I mean, that guy is still a draw, and I feel like if the injury never happened, he'd probably be champ right now.
Yeah,
Or like
true.
until Gunther took it. So I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if they gave the title to Punk, and then eventually we get Seth against Punk, because that's what everyone that's the money match. That's what everyone's looking forward to. So
Hmm.
um
Further
it's
to
yeah.
what you said as well, Shad, it's in terms of creating that character within Gunther. I was on about this in the chat earlier. I think we're always going to struggle to do that when he's always got a belt in his hand. I want to see him get into a meaningful
Adversity.
feud that doesn't involve the belt, because as good as the storyline is and can be, the storyline is always you're the champion and I want to be the champion. That's,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And
Oh,
his good gimmick is very much I am better than you. And when you're the champion, you kind of can say that to whoever you want until you
hmm
drop the belt. So I would just like to see. I don't want to see Gunther become this guy that as soon as he gets the belt, we say, right, we'll say goodbye to that belt for 200 plus days now because Gunther's got it. I just don't want him to be stuck in that. I want to see him in something where it's like, oh damn, he's in this really meaningful feud without having a belt involved.
You don't want it to be the male Charlotte.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get to the next topic in a second. I will say this one last thing. I think that is the most important point you just made, and we did talk about it earlier. Um, Not every storyline has to be the same exact storyline or the same exact reign for him. I know he's dominant. I know the allure is the fact that he's a big, strong, competitor and whatnot. Adversity happens. The bad guy takes losses at times, right? So knocking him off a peg, having a piece of humble pie from CM Punk out of all the people, like that really, will build something up. But we'll have to wait and see. What we will also have to wait and see is this Intercontinental title tournament next week, because we have four competitors built for next week. Last night we had two triple threat matches occur. We had Ilya Dragunov, Dominic Mysterio, and Dragon Lee. And then we had the second one, which had Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, and Braun Strowman, who took the place of the man that bashed him through a car from a tsunami. He is out with COVID. I hope Bronson Reed is good. But Braun Strowman gets the win, as well as Ilya Dragunov. Next week we have Jey Uso, we have Dragunov, we got Strowman, and the last person is not coming to my mind. Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is the fourth person in a fatal four way. A lot of shenanigans happen in both of these matches. People running people off. Dominic Mysterio getting run off. Dragunov and Dragon Lee had a nice little back and forth. Dragunov with the win. And then Strowman hurt. Gets the win, but a lot of it is because of Pete Dunne attacking Sheamus. Me personally, I'm cool with both results. I think Strowman winning is gonna only amplify the Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman feud. So I think it's a good pivot, because I'm assuming that Reed was gonna win last night, so you can build the storyline another way. But that's neither here or there. Chaos. I'm gonna throw it to you because I have a question. Who do you think is gonna win this IC tournament? But also, how do you feel about the matches last night? And do you think the right people won?
Well, to the answer to your first question, I think it's most likely going to be Jay, which I have no qualms with, because right now he's kind of bit of in a limbo. Like, I know he was summoned upon by Rhea, like he was like some Dark Souls character. But yeah, and it's still over. He's still hot. and you got to put that to some good use. And a match between him and Braun would be fire. Where I would want to see that happen, I'm not sure. I'm kind of worried that they might try and throw it on a random episode of Raw. But yeah, no, it's that is probably my most likely favorite out of that match. With regarding the outcomes of the match, I agree what you said about Bronson Reed most likely going to be the winner out of his one, and obviously Dragunov the most likely winner out of his match. And yeah, I have no qualms. There's crazy dynamics that could easily that you could see in the Fatal 4-Way. Braun Strowman could do like some crazy stunts. Dragunov being the workhorse. Jay could literally do anything and you still get a huge pop from everyone. And Pete Dunne being the technician. So you got all these clash of styles, which could lead to some awesome moments in the match itself. But yeah, no, Jay's most likely going to be the winner. They've been outright teasing it, unless Braun takes out Jay in the fatal four, because there's no DQ, so you never know. You might screw him over, and it's going to be someone else. And then you might get it later on. But no, it's the both matches were fun. Love the chemistry between Dragunov and Dragon Lee. Yeah, I could see them wrestle for days. And the match with Braun Strowman, and it was fine in the words of David Sheldon. But yeah, I'm fine either way. Team J for the win, and yeah, see where it goes. I don't think he's gonna win the title though, which is unfortunate because he needs a title at some point. But yeah, Jay against Braun is next.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it does look streamlined that it is gonna be Uso versus Braun. I thought the backstage like interaction between them, Braun cut a nice little like promo at him, saying like your family like never rocking, like he was never able to beat my family,
Yeah,
telling him
sloppy
you shit,
seconds.
yeah,
Yeah, he
down
did
sloppy
say,
seconds.
yeah, he did
He,
say that.
I gotta give him credit. Like from where he started to where he's at now, he's hit a rhythm and he's got the confidence within his
Mm.
character right now. The dude is the real deal. I like him versus Jay Uso as a feud, and I'd like Jay Uso to feud with him before handling whatever tag team business with Sammy or whatever may happen or whatever's happening with the Judgment
I
Day.
just feel like the Judgment Day, because it was only this week that it happened, and then his match is next week. The Judgment Day might get in the way of him winning that match, but
It's a good
I don't
point.
know. I hope
It's a
not.
good
Yeah.
point. But I don't know who the winner
Ilya,
though.
everyone,
So
right?
does
So Bronson, no, Braun's got Bronson who's going to
Yeah.
be on his case. Pete Dunne's got Sheamus that's going to be on his case. Jay's
Yeah.
got the Judgment Day that are going to be on his case. Ilya's cushy. Ilya's could maybe just end up winning by default.
Yeah.
But
that
Yeah.
might be the case.
Yeah.
This
um,
is and Dragonall. Yeah, you might be right. We'll have to wait and see. I
it's
guess.
a lot of interferences, though. That man, I don't know if I can
Yeah.
see that happening.
It's not going to
It's
be
gonna.
clean. It's not going to be a clean
No,
match.
no.
It's unfortunate. But we got a couple comments. We got numero one Superfly saying, "I know we're most likely getting Jay versus Braun, but I would like to see Braun versus Braun to see Braun try to either spear Braun." That's a lot of Braun talk.
Yeah,
I
I see
I, I
what
want to
he's
see
doing.
Braun. I
Oh
want to see
man, you
Braun
you
versus
see,
Braun versus Bronson. I want to see that triple
you
threat.
sneaky numero one Superfly. You was trying to make me say Braun to the Braun to Braun. Okay, nah, that was
Some
good.
Candyman stuff right there.
My boy Josh Markowitz, Cooper DeJean over Ilya Dragunov. That is a facts. Fly Eagles fly. These guys know about the Eagles now. They're in the fantasy football draft. By the way, man, you should have. Why'd you let him auto draft for you, bro? Because you got like three quarterbacks and you can only play one.
Who, me?
Chaos. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, look, dude. Look, my priority. I'm sorry, but my priority was the Premier League, so that's why. But
Fun,
it is what it is. It's
funny
fine.
enough, that is my priority. I'm number two at the moment, and
Which is
Jordy is.
hilarious. Like,
I
which
know
is
it's
also a screw
crazy.
job. You should not like. There's some shenanigans going in that, but that's
Yeah, you'd
another day.
probably be number one, but what? Nah, but what is number one, man, is our good friends at Next Level. Sorry. If you go to nxconnect.me/wrestling republic, you'll be able to find all of our content across all platforms. This is the one-stop shop that you allows you to get everything Wrestling Republic related. It's such an easy link to go to. when anyone asks me how can I support, I always dish it out to them, and they follow us on everything: Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch, all of it. They got a very user-friendly app where you're able to navigate, and there's a personal space that allows you to check out other stuff, other wrestling content creators. It's super dope to see. Super great app. You can get it on all Apple, iOS. If you have a Android, uh, I guess you can find it there too. Sorry to Android users, but nah. All jokes aside, it's great. They also give out competitions, contests that allow people to get free stuff. They got people out to Mania this past year. They're able to give some WWE cash for the WWE store to buy some merchandise, as well as copies of WWE 2K. So support them, keep rocking with them, and keep rocking with us. On that note, let's get back to the show because we have a tag team number one contenders match. The Unholy Union, Isla Dawn, and the artist formerly known as Kaylee Ray, Alba Fire, versus the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky, versus he throwing me off on the title, and Kyrie Sane. Man, I don't know how I feel about this because I really thought Damage Control was gonna win. I really think they were kind of starting to build a hot hand, and the finish was a little weird because one, I'm glad Kyrie is good. That table spot was gnarly. Got some stitches on her eye. Salute to Bianca being able to like push her a little bit, not eating more of that table to the face. Could have really jacked up her head. But like Jade attacked them. The referee saw it.
DQ,
Shouldn't
DQ.
that should have been a DQ, right? I don't get that. I also don't like Io Sky ever getting pinned in matches just because I think Io Sky is the best belt for belt women's wrestler that WWE has right now. But it's cool. We're getting a rematch between Alba and Isla versus Jade and Bianca, and they say this is the rubber match. Um, I enjoyed the match at Bash at Berlin. I'm hoping this one delivers, and I'm curious to see what the direction is. But the state of the women's tag division is getting a little bit better, but it still is a little confusing. And I think Jordy is here to kind of break it down for us. What you got for us, man?
I don't know, mate. I was confused as well. There was a lot of things that confused me right from all the way back to Bashing Berlin because I did not think that Bianca and Jade were going to win the belts back. I am huge fans of Bianca and Jade. Like, don't get that confused. Don't get that twisted. Massive fans. However, I just think that this was the perfect moment to start building towards a feud between the two of them. Not instantly, just a little slip up, nothing major, just a little slip up. Start forming them cracks because this is why, obviously, I'm such a huge fan of Bianca and Jade to the point where they are so powerful that I just don't really genuinely believe that there's many tag teams in the division that can stop them. And I'm not sure if that is a good thing for the division, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I think they should have had a rematch anyway. Really, right? They should have had a rematch clause anyway. They shouldn't have had to fight for it. It was Jade and Bianca squaring up with Damage Control that I saw at the end, but it's not them that they're feuding with. It's the Unholy Union. A lot of things confused me in this, I have to admit. The match itself and the in-ring work, not got a problem with it. Everything that kind of went on and around it, and actually, like I said, the build-up from Bashing Berlin, just confused me a little bit. I'm interested to see what the plan is with this next run of Bianca and Jade, because another thing of what I really didn't want it to look like for the Unholy Union, I didn't want it to look like we gave you the win in your home country, but we're going to take the belts back off you in a few months. And that is exactly what it looks like to a fan. So I don't know. I've got my issues with this one, mate. And I'm usually very happy-go-lucky, you know me.
You know what's crazy, bro? I actually prefer them as the tag champs just because I feel like they play the role of a tag team more than a lot of other women's tag teams in the
They have
division.
more of an identity.
Yeah.
Or when a Holy Union, they they started having identity, and then when they won the titles, it just faded away, and then they
Yeah,
started bringing it back again, and then it's just not the
I
same.
just think that was the moment, and we said about this in the prediction show. I said that if Unholy Union win, it wasn't a waste of the title change, but if they lose, it was, and now it just feels like it was. And I agree, and that's to the credit. The credit there goes to Bianca and Jade because they've not been together for that long, but the way they always present themselves, even to just little things like the gear, even when they're out of the ring, they're always matching. They've just got a synergy about them. So I agree that they do. So it's just there's so many now women's tag teams, and they keep forming. I just don't know if any of them are really gonna go anywhere near them two. It's like, imagine if Roman and Cody were like, oh, we're going to be a tag team now, and it's just plowed through the whole men's division, held the belts.
In the old era, that would happen. In the old era, we made it a makeshift tag teams that's been going back there.
So many.
But like I feel like the next ones that's probably if they to make them feel credible out of anyone right now is the PFC. I think they need to be the next ones. I know, but if they give them any sort of relevancy and any sort of momentum, I think they're the next ones to probably take the titles off. Because other than that, I can't think of anyone else. Because
Chelsea and Piper could. If you play your cards right. It wouldn't be clean. It would be a dirty heel win, legs on the ropes, possibly, holding the trunk, something. But I could imagine them, because they are heels, sneaking the way into a victory. But aside from that, I don't know.
The thing is this, a lot of these, I think the essence of tag wrestling is not completely there in the women's division, because not a lot of them. The only team that wrestles like a tag team is Katana and Casey, right? Like they have a move set that's geared to tag team. They have cohesiveness, all of that. Alba and Isla, Jade and Bianca, they got the they got the finisher moves that look sweet. That's kind of it.
I was about to say that the finisher isn't enough, and I feel like that's what people seem to see, or they seem to think. It's like, we make a tag team finisher. But they needs to have more than the finisher. They need to have more than
actual chemistry, actual chemistry.
Just a couple of moves, it doesn't need to be loads. But
I relate to everything that I do in life, and it reminds me of battle rap. When you have Chaos can attest to it, like a 2-on-2, right? Sometimes it's one of those cases where somebody just raps part of the verse and it goes to the other person just rapping part of the verse. Where you got a team like K-Shine and DNA, or like Marvin Quest, where they would go back and forth, rhyme within words, do intricate stuff like that.
Like Run DMC.
Even like Run DMC, Method Man and Raekwon and Ghostface.
Yeah,
Meth and Red too. Those are situations where you feel the cohesiveness towards it. Jade and Bianca look amazing when they walk in there. They look like a unit, just off of how happy they are, the swagger, the ring gear, all of that. And I think you can establish other women tag team wrestlers in this division if you would book a compelling storyline against them. But the booking of the storylines have been trash. So, and last night's it wasn't a very inspiring tag segment. So we'll wait and see. I know the match will probably be good, but I don't know. We'll have to revisit this next.
Who knows? They might do a twist. They might regain them, and then that's when the cracks start to show, because that's what we're waiting for.
Yeah, true.
That's true. That's a valid point. We'll have to wait and see what happens next week. Let's get to the main event. This storyline that we all love is not having to do what is listed there. No, Jey Uso does not have new twins. The man who is a twin does not have new twins. And honestly, Ben Allison, that's kind of weird if that was what you were thinking, because he's actively looking to holler at Miss Rhea Ripley. So I had to make the joke on there because I read that initially. I was like, yo, that sounds so crazy. But Jey Uso helping the Terror Twins as an ally, as a person who's trying to, get a good word in with mommy. That's what he's really trying to do. We had Jey Uso and Damian Priest versus the tag team champions Finn and JD. And the tag team champions did not win. They lost. This was not a tag team title match. But the complaint and the argument from a lot of people online, also in our group chat, is that the Judgment Day looks weak, but it's also that Finn and McDonough aren't doing much. I'm gonna let y'all go first, and I'm gonna go last because I have a couple words on the topic. Um, but I'm gonna open the floor for you, Chaos. What are your thoughts in regards to the main event and just the direction of the entire storyline?
Yeah, the main event was fine. Obviously it all built up from obviously the opening segment with Rhea Ripley. Very nice foot placement regarding Rhea Ripley because I thought that was like a mishap or botch when she got her foot trapped in between the ropes. But obviously when you watch it back, she was like, yeah, that was it's very subtle, but yeah, it definitely worked. I kind of felt like she kind of oversold the ankle injury. When their foot was trapped in the ropes, I was kind of wishing Liv would get a chair and then bash it. That would probably make it more effective. But anyway, the match itself was good. Jey Uso obviously over like Rover. And obviously the I understand everyone's gripe regarding the Judgment Day, how they're just constantly losing and they having the titles for no reason, which I agree. I don't think they needed the tag team championships. I feel like it will benefit more with people that's actually doing something within the tag team spectrum, like the American Made or even Alpha Academy. They're doing bits right now. They're constantly on TV. They probably will benefit more than what the Judgment Day are doing because what is happening on TV doesn't need the championships in a part of it. Whereas with the Bloodline, they are on a with their story. Part of it is also trying to gain all the gold, and we've seen that before. They were tag team champions. They were we had Roman Reigns being the main champion. So there is a story there. The reason why they have it with Judgment Day, there's what's happening. You got three tag championships that's not really involved. Rhea, the women's championship is coming into play, but for the most part, it wasn't part of it. So yeah, I understand everyone's gripes. But the fact that everyone's saying that they've turned into jobbers or they turned into goobers, they're still opening and closing the show. There's still a lot of momentum. A lot of people. Dominic is still getting major heat, and Finn and JD are having the best time of their lives right now. So I don't feel like they are losing momentum as such, or they're feeling like goobers. Sure, they are losing, but I feel like they're at a point where right now where there's nothing too detrimental to their momentum or to their heat for them to be considered as they're being thrown away or there's terrible booking. It's definitely not terrible booking. There's reasons why. There's a reason why they lost at Brasha Berlin. There's a reason why they lost last night. But yeah, I feel like in order for everyone to quell all this stuff, I think they just need to ditch the Judgment Day name and probably become it's a brand new stable. I don't know. I think that's what everyone's worried about. But overall, I loved it. I have no complaints about the ending. You got to send everyone happy and yeah, lead up to obviously what's going to happen at Bad Blood, which will be uh Damian Priest against Finn and Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan. So yeah, overall, I have no complaints. So yeah, that's my take.
No, and my thing is this: as a role as a heel, isn't it to make you want to root for the babyface?
Exactly.
What are they doing? They are making us want to root for Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. They like, I agree. They maybe shouldn't have the tag team titles. Maybe the tag team titles are being held to not its utilization with other tag teams in the fold and whatnot. But looking at Raw, I see a lot of people getting a lot of great time, especially on the men's side. And I think everything tied to it with the new affiliation of the Judgment Day and them breaking off Priest and Rhea, I thoroughly think everything en route to the storyline has made sense, and I've enjoyed it. Like I don't like you said, I don't have any problem with it. I had no problem with them even losing yesterday, because
Mm.
it's just part of the game, man. Like they shouldn't lose to somebody like against somebody like Priest and Jey Uso. How high on the card they are, or whatnot. Unless it was within the DQ or something like that. But if that's the match you set up, you got to make Damian Priest continuously look strong and great. At the end of this feud, it's gonna be Priest and Balor, and I'm sure Balor's gonna put that man over and allow him to rise even higher on the food chain of what he's doing without the belt. But that's just my opinion. I see a lot of people online complaining about it. I I said it before. What can Finn Balor or JD McDonough complain about what they are being booked in WWE? They are
Yeah.
prominent in a storyline. They
The
are
main
getting
eventing.
they are main eventing. You know what I'm saying? They're getting crowd reaction, all of that. We are invested in what they're doing. Like, it's different. Wins and losses, in my opinion, in the WWE, and even in pro wrestling in the standpoint, it doesn't matter as much. This isn't the UFC. It's still a television show at the end of the day. As long as the story makes sense, it's all right. But Jordy, last but not least on you, man. How do you feel in regards to that? Because I know you're about to do a victory lap right now because your
Yeah, we
squad won.
won. And I think my squad's gonna continue to win from this point, right? I think it's I don't know. I think it's interesting how crazy people are going about about tag team champions getting pinned when the women's world champion got pinned at Bash in Berlin. It's like if it fits in the story, I'm completely with you guys. If it fits in the story, it fits. And like, I would have more to say if it was Finn that got pinned. I definitely would. The fact it's JD again, I feel like we did this a couple of weeks ago, but on the back of this time a South of Heaven choke slam and an Uso splash, the Uso splash that pinned Roman Reigns after however many days, it ain't the end of the world to me that JD doesn't kick out of that. Like, I understand it, and I completely also agree that maybe in an ideal world, them tag belts would have been shifted onto somebody else before this all started, because I think you struggle to shift it on now, and they are kind of just pretty all nice, pretty new belts, new design, but the new design that came in, it hasn't improved the booking of the tag division on the whole. I have to agree, but I just I can get past it. I don't know why I can get past it. Um, Maybe it's because we're still seeing tag teams getting getting a run out, because I enjoyed the match between Alpha Academy and American Made earlier on in the night. Obviously we've seen the Wyatt Six in and around, so there is still tag teams there, and this, but I agree. I agree that they shouldn't necessarily be on them, but I just don't think it's the end of the world, man. Um, with Jay, I don't know how long he stays in this storyline. I think he might be kind of. It feels like he's in limbo a bit, waiting for this bloodline reunion to happen for War Games, which I don't necessarily massively like for him, because he's so over. And if you don't pull the trigger on him soon on giving him a singles title, I don't know. I don't know when would be a great time to do it. Um, not that I don't think he's going to get less popular, to be honest. In the next sort of 1 to 2, 3 years, I think you'll have time to put it on him. But yeah, I just feel like he's a bit at limbo, getting involved with the whole Rhea and Damien thing. But I also liked, this was the one thing that I did very much like, that obviously, like you said, he's going for Rhea's sake, but it does make sense that he can see where Damien's coming from, given the situation Jay was in when he came over to Monday Night Raw. That he can actually see, yeah, like, look, yeah, people can change. I understand. Like, I was everyone's worst enemy like 6 months ago, so I will stand by you in this situation. Plus, obviously, Rhea Ripley. So I liked it. No massive issues from me. Aside from, yeah, maybe shift the belt onto someone else in future before you start tying into storylines like this.
For sure. And there's only one person to blame on that. Or two people to blame on that. The Miz and R Truth. It's never never forget it's their fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But nah, I agree with y'all on that, and I'm glad that we all are on the same boat on that. But that is all the time we have left for today's show, man. We appreciate everyone in the comments and Instagram, YouTube viewing. Remember, we are back same time tomorrow. Tonight, off the air, NXT. Don't forget to miss that. But more importantly, don't forget to go on the YouTube page as soon as the notification bell rings and see Chaos at Bash at Berlin. He said he got some like undisclosed info that happened on the show too. So I'm excited to see that. But nah, that's all that we got. Y'all have a good rest of your evening and take care. Deuces, ooses.